Oh.
What's your real name? I like that. It's a great voice. What's my real name? My real name is Percy James Patrick Kent-Smith.
Good Lord.
Yeah. That's why I'm called Sylvester McCoy. It's easier.
He's back!
When I was born, my father was an Englishman, my mother was Irish. My mother was Molly Sheridan. But my father was Percy James Kent-Smith, and the Patrick was stuck in for the Irish bit when I come along. But when I grew up, I was kind of orphaned, and the Sheridans, the battling Sheridans of Dunoon, brought me up, and they called me Kent, and I thought my name until the age of 11 was Kent Smith. And then in school, the teacher said that we needed to go home and find out if we had any middle names to fill in forms to go to the secondary school. So I went home and I said, "Are there any middle names?" And they said, "Well, I think you better sit down. Because your real name is Percy James Patrick Kent-Smith." Now I come from Scotland, and it's, you know, the Highlands, and there's a lot of Scottish nationalists there, some of them don't like the English. And here was I discovering, I thought Kent Smith, that was a great name, because Kent is also a Scottish word, it means known. He's well Kent. Kent, fine, what you mean. And so Kent, I grew up thinking was a Scottish thing. But there's also the county of Kent in England, and I think that's where this Kent came into my name. So anyway, I thought Kent Smith, I was happy. And suddenly I've got this double-barrel name. Also, I came from a kind of a lower class area, and to have a double-barrel name, well, that was death. They kill you. Bang. The class system in Britain, you might not understand it really, but it's very confusing and can be dangerous. So I suddenly had this terrible name. Percy was another terrible name to have. Because the Percys used to invade, the tribe of Percys used to invade Scotland regularly from the north of England. Hotspur, he was a Percy in Henry the Fourth, Fifth. So that was a big problem. I had this. So when I went back to school, people were there, asked to get up and give their middle names. And there was a guy called Donald MacDonald, and he stood up and what was your middle name? He said Donald MacDonald. So that was, a highly imaginative family, if you know what I mean. I stood up and cried.
Oh.
I couldn't tell them, and I couldn't say it out loud. I mean, it was a complete shock. And I think that was my first nervous breakdown. I've had many since. No. I couldn't say this terrible, appalling name that was weighing down on me, and I had to go out and whisper to the teacher what my name was, and make a promise not to tell anyone, because I would have been beaten black and blue in the playground if anyone had known I got a name that was so English, so posh, so double-barreled. And so, anyway, I eventually, when I started acting, I only had my very first acting role was with the Ken Campbell Roadshow, a group that was with Bob Hoskins was in it, Dave Hill and Jane Wood and Ken Campbell and all that. I called myself for the first year Kent Smith. Then eventually we did a circus, and in it we learned lots of skills. Then we got back together again, and I suggested we make a show that would go around pubs and clubs and small theatres. And Ken Campbell said, "Yeah, that's a good idea, we'll make a stunt show." And in this I played the stuntman. I used to bang nails up my nose, I used to explode bombs in my chest, set a light to my head, I used to be able to nut a potato into 1,000 pieces, I used to try and break the world record for having a ferret down my trousers. That's why I wear a kilt. And I used to do all sorts of stunts. I had bricks broken in my chest. You name it, I did it. And it was a very successful show. We toured all over Europe, and it was a great success. And Ken said, we called the character Sylvester McCoy. We were playing London, and terribly posh critics were coming, and he said, it'd be really great if the audience thought that you were real, that you weren't an actor playing the role, but you were actually the real McCoy. So he said, it'd be good if we put that in the program, Sylvester McCoy by Sylvester McCoy. And so that's what we did, and they believed it. And then I thought, Wow, because it got reviews. Sylvester McCoy, played like the real Sylvester McCoy. Whoa. I thought, I think I'll keep that. So I kept that as my name, my stage name. And I think it's been a good one. It's a very memorable one, and it worked. I mean, the Sylvester came from a song. Have you heard about the big strong man who lives in the caravan? Have you heard about the Jeffrey Johnson fight? Well, that great black American beat the white. You can bring all the heavyweights you got, 'cause we got a little man to beat the lot. He plays the organ and the belfry, and he wants to fight Jack Dempsey. That's my brother, Sylvester. What's he got? He's got a Robocop, 40 medals on his chest, big chest, explored all the Arctic in his vest. He knows no rest. Bigger the arm, strong in the punch, hellfire, son of a gun. Don't push, just shove, plenty of room for thee and me. He's got an arm, as big as a leg, and a punch that can sink a battleship, big ship. It takes all the army of the navy to put the wind up. Sylvester, boy. So that's where I got the name Sylvester from. I will not tell you where I got the McCoy from. It's a very rude joke.
Oh, come
I
on!
can only be told at late midnight shows.
I just was curious, where would you personally like to travel to try in space? I know the doctor went to, I'm sorry. I'm done.
Right, where would I like to travel through time and space? Yeah. Well, actually, I'd like to go back. I mean, I really would like to go back and see, because, you know, history was written by the victors and it's not necessarily true, all of it. And I'd like to go back and see, you know, bits of it and see how much of it was true. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd quite like to go back to Israel, you know, the beginning of the millennium, the way back there, the first millennium, and see if that were what all that was about. That'd be fascinating. I'd also would like to go forward in time. I'd like to space travel and go and find another planet as beautiful as ours. It would be a stunning thing to do. And I believe it must be, because it's universal, it goes on forever. It has to be another accident like us. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm just, you know, the one-off accident. But I'd like to find out the answer. Yes, so that's what I'd like to do. If I was, I also like to do this. Oh, there's a hand. Woo! Behind you.
How did you hurt your foot?
How did I hurt my foot? Yes, well, what happened was in my 20s, I was trying to climb up a drain pipe
Uh-oh.
into a house. I was a burglar. No, I wasn't. I didn't want to disturb people in the house, and I was a climber. I mean, I wish what's that thing called where people jump from building to building?
Parkour?
Yeah, I wish that would have run when I was at that age, because I would have been doing it. I loved doing that. And so I was climbing a drain pipe, and then it hadn't been raining, but somehow there was water on this roof that I grabbed onto, and I slipped, and I fell 2 stories onto a concrete path.
Oh.
And it all jarred me, and then I kind of crawled up the stairs and rang the doorbell, and so they opened the door and went, and then nearly closed it. And I went, I'm down here. And they went, oh, there you are. They thought I was drunk, but I wasn't. I was just kind of collapsed. But I got better, or so I thought, until 50 years later. Suddenly, I didn't get better. So what happened was I started to destroy the cartilage. You know, that was the beginning of osteoarthritis. So, and also I carried on doing stunts and falling and tumbling and all the kind of stuff I did while I was an actor. Comedy war wounds, you know. But this is to put it right. I finished The Hobbit, and as soon as I finished it, I went and had an operation on my ankle. Just to, what happens is it's the joint in the foot, not my ankle, it's in my foot. The joint, you know, is cleaned out, and the 2 bones are then bolted together, and my body thinks that that's a broken bone, and so it's naturally fusing it into one bone, and that takes away the pain. But it's quite magical, isn't it? That, you know, you can do that. You can trick the body. So I had my ankle, my foot fused, and my brain confused.
Here he goes again.
Do you want to have a go? There you go. Come on, go. Sorry. Okay. Hello. Bye-bye. All again sometime. Have a race.
Race.
My batteries are running out because I'm running around all over the place. Oh, I will. Can I get to you?